Just regarding the latest Mumbai collapse case in Bhendi Bazaar, the Hussaini building, the heritage building of 100+ years old that has ended up killing 34 people, injuring 17 others. The rescue operations there have now concluded by the fire department and the NDRF that had been on ground for the past 24 hours. There were 5 floors of this building that fell through at 8:30 a.m. yesterday. Questions once again being asked on why wasn't this building, if unstable, it was identified as unstable in the year 2009, why hadn't it been pulled down well in time? Our correspondent Disha has been getting us further inputs here from ground zero at the site of the collapse there. Disha, the rescue relief operations having concluded, affected families there are still around. What are they saying? How would they like this case to be taken up now?
That's right. The rescue operations are now complete at the Bhendi Bazaar building collapse site, which killed 34 people and injured 17 people altogether. And what we understand is that the rescue operations went for more than 26 hours now. The building collapsed at 8:30 a.m. yesterday in the morning. But we know for the fact that this building was dilapidated and weak in structure, and the locals here and the survivors whom we spoke to, what they told us, there's a history and background to this entire incident. What we understand is that in 2009 and 2011, MADA had sent eviction notices because this was one of the dilapidated structures. In 2011, out of 15 to 16 families, 7 families moved out and the remaining families preferred to stay. After 2011, what the survivors told us is that there was no warnings or eviction notices from MADA or either from any government body, so they continued to stay there. Only in 2016,
after a few evacuations,
building and
the authorities fell silent.
Bhendi Bazaar was part of
right. But post 2011, there has been a word that's coming from certain quarters within the state government, the Maharashtra State Housing Minister. They're also saying that we are perhaps looking at an eventuality of forcefully pulling out people from the building if they're not ready to evacuate well in time. What do the victims have to say on that? They're now being accused of staying back in the dilapidated structure despite several warnings.
That's right, the warnings, that's what I was mentioning, that the warnings were there only till 2011, and after 2011 till the time 2016 when this entire part became as a cluster redevelopment project, which is Chief Minister's pet project apparently, then that time only the SEFI Trust also came into picture, who was carrying the entire redevelopment issue. But between 2011 and 2016, there was no warnings or notices that were sent. That is what the survivors told us. Even BMC was very well aware when MADA was sending these eviction notices, and BMC overlooked this entire matter, because as per rule, if I can just point out one important point here, is that as per rule, if MADA is sending out eviction notices, then it is the BMC's duty to cut the electricity or water supply off for the residents if they do not evict within 48 hours. But that clearly did not happen, and then the entire matter was hidden, and in 2016 this came up. But now the housing minister is blaming the SEFI Trust, BMC is blaming MADA, so there is all the blame game here between different political parties, but multiple agencies are involved here, and this is what now the Chief Minister also wants to find out as to who is responsible.
Disha, the larger concern here being that political blame on one side. Of course, you would have parties in the opposition wanting to blame the government in power. But the blame game that we're seeing now is from the system within. I mean, you have the BMC to be working along with the government, that the same political party is ruling the government and the BMC now. But you have the BMC, MADA and the state government at loggerheads at each other.
That's right. Here there are multiple agencies, like I was pointing before, which are involved here, be it MADA, be it BMC, or be it the SEFI Trust, and be it even the state government for that matter. And the housing minister went on to blame the SEFI Trust, that because they were the ones who were directly communicating with the tenants, with the remaining number of tenants, right from 2016 to 2017. And in fact, the SEFI Trust also went on record and said that in 2011, 7 tenants moved out and they were given alternate accommodation. But in in 2016, when these residents were again asked to move out, they were not given any alternate accommodation by the state government or either by MHADA. Nobody. So they said that they do not have any other option. They did not have any other option. Where should they go? So that is why they continue to stay here. BMC also again overlooked the matter in 2016 as well, once this became a part of the cluster redevelopment project.
All right, Disha, many thanks for getting us those inputs there. Disha has been getting us the non-stop coverage of this particular building collapse case ever since it took place yesterday, 8:30 a.m. Many thanks.